exercise means everything. I work out every day. I try and keep fit. As you get older, you get to your 30s and 40s, you always need to make sure that you're always fit. You're always watching out for your cholesterol, making sure that you're tip-top shape.
Nigerian people, per se, have embraced exercising a lot.
Okay.
Back home, where I come from, you see a lot of men exercising, but not women.
Okay.
So this to me is a revelation, it's a change. Where Nigerian women are looking after themselves.
I got into it, health and fitness, because I had a baby, so it was more postnatal for me. But I'd always been conscious of my health because I've never been a slim person. So I've always been on a diet, I've always tried to look good. It's more about living healthy, looking good, you know, taking off sickness and all of that for me.
Because this is what we want to talk about. When have you seen it? I've been on this way since 6 a.m. this
Oh my
morning.
God, you liar!
Oh, no, I'm not lying. These
Oh,
things happen.
Oh, please, Aisha, what are you doing? What are you doing? How do you know? What are the telltale signs to say that, look, my heart is overheating like the radiator of a car and it needs to be checked out by a cardiologist?
Well, if we wait for the car to overheat, then we've gone beyond the boundary. The checking should be done before the heating starts. And that's a problem because when they have hypertension, they never really know, because hypertension doesn't give you any symptoms, it doesn't cause, problems, issues for the people. By the time you start having issues with the blood pressure, then one organ has been damaged. And that's why it's called a silent killer. On its own, a few people, yes, may know because they feel all tensed up and they have a headache, but that's all. Most people walk around with the blood pressures way up in the skies without knowing they have hypertension. So except you keep checking, except you measure your blood pressure at any point in time. And for the women, they have the opportunity, you take you take your child into the emergency room for one ailment or the other. Just ask, somebody to check your blood pressure.
Are there habits that we indulge in? Are there habits that we should avoid? What are the lifestyle that we can imbibe? If that can prevent us from being exposed to heart diseases early.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting, but it's not really just for women, it's for everybody. Okay, so we should all watch our weights. The bigger you are, the more problems, the more work you're giving your heart, and then all sorts of things are being produced, like the fat we have around the stomach area, the mid-region. It doesn't just behave like fats. Okay, it produces a lot of chemicals, a lot of hormones that just throws your system, into something else. We eat a lot of salt in this country. We consume a lot of salt. They put the Maggi, you put the white salt, you put the Ajinomoto, all sorts of things. Our food is too salty. And then the kind of food we eat, the way we cook our food, we eat a lot of oil. When we cook our stews, the traditional stews, the condiment is just this little, and then the oil on top is, we just keep drinking the oil, and it just goes and settles, out there. What I tell the women is, imagine when your kitchen sink gets blocked and you get a plumber to open it. You know how the oil, see the oil cake, on the pipe. That's what happens to the arteries around the heart. And God help you, if it decides to close completely, then we'll say somebody has had a heart attack. So we need to watch what we eat. We need to exercise. I agree most of our environment, most of the places where we live will not be exercise friendly, but we can get our bodies moving. So watch what you eat, cut down the salt, cut down the weight, a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, and the carbohydrates.
What are the signs of of a young lady who's got fibroids? And if they have fibroid, what can they do, before they get to the age of childbearing age?
But I just want to state here that fibroid is not an important cause of infertility. I.e., that is, fibroid is not a very important cause of not getting pregnant. Okay, when we are investigating a woman for infertility and has fibroid, we just leave that. We do all the other tests. And when all the other tests, you test the man is okay, you do the hormone test, you check her tubes, everything is okay. Then you can now say, okay, maybe it's the fibroid that is causing the infertility. So it's not an important cause of infertility. And all I'm saying that if a young girl that goes, gets a scan and there's a small fibroid that even the doctor can't, feel it when he examines her, and it's not giving her any problem, I don't think she should go about, seeking operation for it.
So this you can easily put on yourself. Okay, I'll just have you slip your hand through here. Okay, and then the tube, the artery, the main artery that brings blood into the hands actually runs on the inner side of your arm. Okay, so you must get this tube to align with that artery. And then this has a Velcro snap. So once you put it in, make sure it's snugly, fit. And then you just press the on.
So her blood pressure is being taken now?
Yeah.
Relax.
Delako, don't talk. So at what point really, doctor, do you know that it is completed?
The machine does it automatically. Now her blood pressure now is 128/82, which is normal. And her pulse rate is 78. Okay.
What do you look out for when you self-examine, Professor?
Well, what you do is, if you can do it every month, you can take a day every month, and then, and it's usually best done after your periods. So after your menstruation, when the breast, all the hormones have gone down a little bit, then you can do your self-breast. So don't do it just before your periods. Always do it after your periods.
What about those women who don't
the menopausal?
Yes.
You can just pick a day, a date, and then just do it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are going to demonstrate
Yes.
with Bimbo now how to self-examine our breast for those early signs.
Yes. I just have a question. Is it true that if you have bigger breasts, then you are more inclined to?
Studies have been shown that.
Okay.
Just check. Now, what you do is you don't wear a dress like she's doing. So you have to remove your dress, you remove your bra, and then first of all you have to. Do you have any discharge at all before So you press your breast. Is there any discharge? If it's discharge, if you are not breastfeeding and it's a milky discharge, that is not normal. Then you also is it blood stain discharge? That's also very so note that. Then you look at your breast. Mirror in front, you look at your breasts, look at your nipples. The nipples are those, you all know what nipples are. Yeah, it's the nipple, one nipple longer, one breast is one breast longer. Normally the left one is usually bigger, but then has it grown bigger than the other, Then you also look at the skin over of your breast. Is there any changes in the skin or not? Those changes, that's why we call peau d'orange. It's a French name. That is skin of the orange. It's a very late sign of breast cancer. Okay, they call it peau d'orange. You see how the skin of the orange looks like some small spots on it. Okay, so you just make change, but we don't want to wait till we get that. That's a late sign of breast cancer. So you look at your breasts in the mirror. And then what you do is to divide your breast into 4 parts, okay? And then you start from one quadrant and move down. So you start from the
upper part?
Upper part, and then move down. So we just divide the breast into 4. You start from here, okay? And, sit straight, and then make sure that, you touch almost the bone. I mean, there's a bone behind, so just... And you don't do like this. You use the palm of your hand and then go like that, and then go like that, and then go like that. That is, and then that. And then you come to the middle part where the nipple are, and then you also do that. When you finish, you should also go into your armpit, the axillary area, okay? Because the breast has what you call the axillary tail. There's extension of the breast down here, you know, that we don't see. So you can also try that. And then go into your rear armpit and find out whether there are any lumps there. If you notice a lump, last month you examined your breast, you didn't notice any lump. And then this month you examine and you notice a small lump, you know, just size of a bean, tiny thing that wasn't there before. Just rush to your doctor. It may be nothing. Most of the time it's nothing. Okay? But just go and get, you know, further tests and then let them reassure you that there's nothing there. Okay? So that is self-breast examination.